All right, folks, welcome to another session. Today, we're going to go one step further. So, till now, we have done story of my life. We have noted down some bullet points from that introduction. And now we'll go into actually introducing ourselves, practicing that. And we'll do some activity as well. But I want to talk about some general pointers to think of this as like I'll just go into a monologue. I'll deliver some content abhi, and then just can keep in mind, note it for future, and when you actually do the homework, keep those things in mind. First thing to note about is key most of you, most of like all the interviews right now that are going to happen, they're going to be happening via Zoom. What that means is ki you have a very uh, the rules differ a bit when you're taking compared to a real interview. And I'll give you some examples as well. So let's say abhi I'm looking directly into the camera. This is how I look. Let's say if I start looking somewhere else and this is how I talk, the first impression that you'll get of me is, hey, and this person is not interested in talking to me. This person is just passing time. This person is not really serious. And again, this goes the same with you go a bit farther away, you come like, you come like itna close. So like all those things, these are things that you need to figure out. If you can get a ring light, this is the difference between a ring light and if you this is how I look without a ring light. Okay, this is how I look with a ring light you'll get 400 500 rupees में you'll get it. Just order it today itself. Okay, no, don't think about the investment much. I can tell you this is a pretty good investment for you. Just do it. The other thing is you have to look in the camera actively, and this will come with practice. This is not something that is very intuitive, because you say right now I'm looking at the camera, which is like a just a green dot. This is not very intuitive, but like I hope you can see key, like when I'm looking directly into the camera, the kind of attention or focus I'm grabbing from you versus when I look somewhere else, or um, yeah, just not look into the camera, usse difference comes. So confidence is the key. Again, moving to the next point, which is probably the biggest point in all of clearing the interview journey is confidence is something that it goes both ways. Key, jaise you get confident in yourself, you'll start clearing interviews. At the same time, jab tak you'll not be confident, tab tak tum technical kitna hi kar lo, you'll not clear interviews. And the reason behind that is confidence is something, uh, confidence is seen as a self belief. Like whenever you are confident, it is seen as you believe in yourself. How that translates is, even if you're answering something, you don't know whether this is the right answer or not, if you're saying it with confidence, more often than not, the other person will take it as ki ha, maybe I don't remember it right, maybe he or she is saying it right, versus you might be answering it 100% right, but if you are not confident, you sort of look somewhere else, and then you just sort of are maybe speaking very slowly, you appear not confident while answering, it can trigger the other response in the interview, which is, hey, uh, I think I thought this was the right answer, but this person is not confident. Maybe it is not the right answer. And maybe this person is guessing. And you don't want to get into that zone. As soon as you get into this zone where the other person starts guessing, or let me rephrase, as soon as you get into this zone wherein the other person starts doubting whether you know the answer to this question or not, it puts the doubt on all your other answers. I'll give you a very parallel example to this. Let's say, whenever, let's say you found your friend, you caught your friend lying at a particular instance, right? As soon as you catch that one instance, उसके सारे चीजों पे डाउट आ जाता है कि अरे मे बी पहले भी वो हो सकता है झूठ बोल रहा था या झूठ बोल रही थी, राइट? It gives a doubt on everything. So same thing while answering, while appearing for interview, if you show lack of confidence anywhere, it gives a doubt on all your other answers. Maybe, hey, this person didn't know the answer to other one as well and just guessed it. So you want to appear confident. You want to, if you know the answer, say it confidently. If you don't know, then also you say it confidently that, hey, I don't know. One thing to remember, and maybe we'll I did not intend to cover it today, but I'll just flow may, I think this matches. This is, the interviewer is only looking for 70% of your correct answers, which is, if they are asking 10 questions, they're only assuming, or they're only expecting that you answer 7 of them. They're not expecting ki you answer every question perfectly. So I'm just sharing this so that you can relax a bit and become more confident while answering. It is okay, it is perfectly okay to say I don't know this, but if you go into that trap of, hey, I need to get this question right and I'll make up something and pray that kuch ho jayega acha, that will most likely not work. Pratyush, go for it.
Hello. Yeah. So actually, I gave one of the interview. So in that interview, I cleared one round, and then I reached to the second round. That, like, I was not able to give two or three answers, but every other answers were right. But then also they like rejected me. I don't know what happened.
Got it. Very, very hard to like evaluate, like post rationalize abhi, because it could be a bunch of things. It could be that um, whatever your expectations were, maybe they had the budget or not. Maybe that was not aligned. Maybe the prior interviews or the any round that happened before depends on those results as well. Also depends on how urgent is that hiring. Like, can they, do they need someone right now, or can they wait for 2 months? So bunch of things that can go wrong. We're not here to sort of dissect a particular case, because there are lots of variables, and again, this is something which we'll talk about in one of the future lessons as well. This is a very non-deterministic uh, game, I would say. This is a very non-deterministic game. It's a very, till now, when you were making projects, either from bootcamp or following YouTube, Udemy, anywhere, it was very deterministic thing wherein you knew ki ye karna hai, you knew ki this is how you write that code, you knew what feature to build, how to build it, you knew, hey, I'm stuck, so this is what I need to debug. You spend some hours, you talk to your friends, you debug it, you finally fix it, and it works. In a way, it is deterministic. Interviews is a very non-deterministic process, which is, you cannot control outcomes. You could, I'll give you a very simple example. It could be that you answer everything right, but the interviewer, maybe that day is not going well for the interviewer, and he or she has some other thing going on in their minds. And whenever you're answering, they are not focusing on you, and they're just, um, their mind is somewhere else. And even if you answered correctly, they might just have missed it because they're thinking about something else. So it's very, very hard to, uh, I know it is like, it's not fair, yes, but this is the current state. We'll work on this, we'll talk about this mindset on the weekend, on Saturday. We'll do something about that as well. But yeah, dissecting particular interview experiences is very, very tricky, very hard, because there are like 10 different variables, um, which are like out of our control. So yeah, the best we can do is we can like optimize individually for different variables as much as possible. All right. So I was talking about confidence. So I talked about being confident is something which, even if you're on the fence, it tilts the conversation in your favor. And this is something, it is also something which is a state of mind. What that means is, if you can just say to yourself, there's a first session where we said we're hireable. You can just say, you can just flip a switch in your mind. You can just say, hey, I am confident, or I'll be confident from now on. And this is something, I'm not saying ki aaj ki aaj karna hai, but this is, so there are some things like how to answer tech questions. Those things come up with practice. But being confident is mostly a state of mind. Not mostly, it's a state of mind. You can just flip the switch, say, hey, I'll be confident from now on, and that is what it takes. It, although as you do more homework, more assignments, more practice, that will also increase your confidence. But at some point you'll have to sort of decide yourself, okay, hey, now I'll be more confident. Yeah, as we see in the chat, fake it till you make it. Very, very, very true. I'll quickly touch upon two more pointers, and I think that is the gist of it all. Second is smile. And smiling is something which is, I would say, like pretty underrated. How I'll talk about the from a psychological perspective first, which is, as soon as you smile, um, let's say like this, I'm smiling, right? So as soon as you see someone smile, reflexively, you'll also, your muscles also move in that direction. You'll also smile a bit. As soon as you smile a bit, your mood sort of starts shifting towards like being more happy, being more positive. So again, like small things, but uh, these things can sort of tilt the outcome in your favor. You want the other person to be on your side, right? So yeah, smiling definitely helps there. So just going on a tangential thread, you want the other person on your side. Another mindset to have, so I think today we're just going about mindsets now. So another mindset to break through is, your interviewer is there to select you. He or she is not there to reject you. And I'll again explain about why that is. Like I said, I've been saying in the last two sessions, don't take my word for anything. You should understand why are things the way they are. So why they are there to select you and not reject you. Okay, maybe we can take a, I'll take a break and maybe someone can take a shot. Okay, who wants to take a shot at this answer? Just raise your hand. We have one person. Do we have more? All right. Faraz, go for it.
Yeah, so hi, first of all, everybody. So the one thing which straight away triggers in my mind is that to hire anybody, it requires a lot of investment in the form of effort, in the form of finance. So
All right. I'll break you off there. Pratyush?
I guess they are like they want us to hire because maybe like they want key okay we have our resume has been shortlisted, so like okay let's see how the guy is, and if it is like giving.
I'll break you off there. There was one more hand. Whose was it? Yes, Rai, go for it.
We want the job, but the company also wants good employees. And if they're going to get it, then why will they not?
All
I
right.
guess.
Manak?
Yeah, I was actually going to say the point which Rai already said. Like it's all about business and they need some persons.
All right. All right. Aryan?
Yeah, I'm also saying same point as a Rai.
All right.
Company also had a requirement,
Got
so
it.
they will hire.
Got it. Say it.
Yeah, I think everyone covered most of the points, but one point is as an engineer in a company, you would not want to spend your time interviewing candidates, but rather close that loop to like work on your problems. So I think the interviewer would want to complete that loop as soon as possible. So that might be a reason that they want to
All right.
accept you
All
than
right.
reject you.
Cool. So super close answers. Harshna says they have no reason to reject you unless you give them one. This is more of like a neutral answer, right? So this is key. Inherently, they don't want to reject you because they have nothing personal against you. But my question is more of key. Do they have an incentive to select you? Of course, I think Sayed mentioned key. They would rather do that, spend their time doing development and all that. Okay, we'll go to the answer. So like drum roll, answer revelation time. And the answer is taking interviews is inherently a boring process. Taking interviews is very boring. I cannot stress this enough. I've taken hundreds of interviews. And what you're doing essentially is you have the same set of questions. You are getting on a call with the other person. You're asking the same questions. Um, in your case, it's mostly going to be for a junior front end role. So it's not like it's a system design interview wherein you'll brainstorm on new solutions. It's not like that, right? Most likely there are standard questions like, hey, explain promises, or how does React work under the hood, or what are the advantages of TypeScript, things like that. The answers to which they already know. They're not like, unless you have a very unique insight on something, most likely they're not going to learn anything technical from that conversation, right? I'm just specifically talking about junior front end roles. I'm not talking about senior. Seniors is a different thing. But hiring for a junior front end role, taking that interview is a boring process. Nobody wants to do that boring work. So this is the mindset that you should go with. कि the interviewer has a very high incentive to select you. So एक तो होता है कि बस neutral है, and we talked about कि reject, तो why will they do, because they have nothing personal against you. But I want you to understand, internalize कि they are on your side. They want to select you, because as soon as they do that, of course they will get back to development, but at the same time you are saving them uh, from working on this boring task. So go with that mindset ki you being you can do them a service, you can help them by making just making that interview go good, and helping them select you. All right, so we were talking about Smile, which is for people who, like, I am seeing ki, like, not a lot of people are smiling in this call right now. So now's the time to start practicing that. Get into a default zone of ki, like ऐसा भी नहीं कि बिल्कुल you have to laugh, but like go more than a neutral, like थोड़ा सा smiling face में जाओ. This is not something you can do in one day. So confidence is different. Confidence, so you can say mentally ki hey, now I'm confident, wo ho gaya. Smile is not something that you can change about yourself in one day. And again, I'm not saying you change anything about yourself. I'm just saying in the context of interviews, let's try to smile more. And how you can do is just practice. Let's say you're on this call, and we'll have more calls as well. बीच में just try to force a smile in between, and धीरे धीरे it will be more natural. This will take time. Like, I'll be honest, I'm not saying कि कल से you'll be like done with it, but consciously like note this down. Note down this action item कि every few minutes try to force a smile, maybe in this call itself. And yeah, we'll take some feedback at the end to when we actually do some interview practice. But yeah, for now, just keep this in mind. Let me see this. Rishabh has the best smile energy here. Where is Rishabh? Rishabh. कहाँ है ऋषभ? इतने सारे लोग हुए अभी. Oh man, I'm not able to. All right. अच्छा, तुमने hand raise कर दिया था. I was looking for you on the next page.
You were looking, that's why I raised hands to make it easy for you.
Thank you for being considerate. That's nice. So this is what helping looks like. You want to help the other person. Yeah, man, pretty contagious smile. I think like this is the end goal, end game for everyone here. Ki you go like I can see ki, like effortless smile either. You and as soon as you see him, like you can't help but smile a bit. And I think that is where you want to get at. We'll get it with time. I'm just telling you like in the starting week itself so that you consciously work on it.
Yeah.
If you get stuck to any of the question, how to maintain that smile. So we'll talk about this when we do a mock, when you actually get stuck, then we'll talk about how to handle that. But yeah, theek hai. So yeah, the end goal, like I said, I'll just repeat it again, is the end goal is your smile is contagious. And if you get the other person to smile a bit, that also like that's the win right there. We'll go over the final main point of today, which is another thing to consciously work on, which will take time as well, is energy. What is energy? Energy is a proxy of how interested you are in the conversation. Energy is let's say how loud you speak, how excited you are, how much excitement you show in the conversation, how much attention you're paying while listening. So like how much involved you are in the conversation, like those are some parameters of judging energy. I'll talk about why that is important, but I wanted to just see the difference between a high energy and a low energy. So this is me at a high energy. Like this is not how I normally talk. So this is how I normally talk. Like I have my friend on this call, या फिर कोई भी, like I'm just talking to just randomly, मतलब मुझे कुछ content नहीं deliver करना and all that. So this is how I normally talk. The way that I'm talking right now is effortless to me. ठीक है, but इसमें if I answer questions, you might miss something. Even if I know the right answer, you might miss out on some words or something. And this is the high energy version of me, wherein the content is the same, but I hope that you can register some difference in the impact. And this is again something which will take time. At the same time, you don't have to do it 24/7. You just have to practice this in the context of the interview, 30 minutes or 1 hour a day. And the reason why this is an important factor is because the energy that we have to spend in a day is limited. And if I'm choosing to spend it with any particular person, let's say I'm spending this energy with you all, Abhi, that since it is scarce, it is not like I have infinite energy in my day. 24 time is the same, like 24 hours hai. But this energy, I cannot speak at this energy for 24 hours. Hell, I cannot speak at this energy for 2 hours. Like after this call, I'll be dead. I'll just close my laptop. I will open TV, I'll watch something on Netflix. Yeah, I'll not talk to anyone for 1 hour, 2 hours. And then dinner ke baad, I'll be back to normal again. So the reason why this is a good proxy is that your energy in a day is limited. And if I'm choosing to spend with someone, it sort of shows that, hey, I'm really interested in something because it is a scarce resource. If it's a scarce resource and I'm choosing actively to spend it with you or in a particular interview, it is sort of seen that you're serious about it. And again, if you're serious about it, and from a technical answering perspective, if you are on the fence, the other person will sort of take it in the positive direction. So, and again, like before we discussed, right, ki interviewer is there to select you. So if you show interest ki haan bhai meko to join karna ye company, so it will they'll sort of help you there. So we talked about energy. The holy grail of this is ki other people are listening to you, like they can like listen to you more. So whenever you go to breakout rooms, the holy grail is ki people are listening to you and you can keep talking. There's nothing, nobody is breaking you in between. So the more you speak, the more energy you are giving in the conversation. And in the context of the interview, you want to speak more, you want to talk more about what you know and everything. Cool. So these are the three main things that I wanted to start doing from today onwards. This is confidence, smile, energy. We have like a funky acronym for this. So this is there. And yeah, just recapping it again, confidence is something which you can flip it from this call itself ki, hey, I'm confident from now on, and it will show, it will manifest itself in your other things as well. And smile, dheere dheere, just try to force a smile in between. Like if you haven't smiled in the call till now, this is your cue. Let's smile. Thoda sa, let's make a conscious decision to smile. Again, because we are going to be working with other people, right? So you'd more, yeah, like if I'm hiring, I would want to work with a person who smiles versus who doesn't smile. So yeah, action item on this is also update your profile picture on Stacker with where you are smiling. I don't want Aadhaar card photos, मतलब बिल्कुल serious नहीं चाहिए. Like a good close-up where you can see the face and it should be a smiling photo. If you want it to be reviewed, just upload it in your thread itself. Yeah, I wouldn't say एक upload karo. Like if you want some review, then upload 2 images, A versus B, so that I or anyone else can say कि hey, ये रख लो. Most likely, if it is a smiling one, उतना ही चाहिए. मतलब we don't want to optimize a lot, but that is there. Cool, folks. Any doubts from anything we have discussed till now? Any reflections? Anything that you think you're thinking something differently before, now you're thinking it differently now, or anything you want me to expand on? We can take those things now. We have one. Anyone else? I don't want hands at the end. If you have a doubt, you can raise your hand now. Yawning is a red flag. Yeah. If you're yawning, I'll probably ghost you. I'll cut the call right away. So yawning and not acknowledging is a red flag, I would say. If you're yawning, at least acknowledge ki, hey, this is not you, this is me. This is not because this conversation is boring. This is because I slept late or whatever. You have reviewed your introduction, so we can update in Stacker. Yes. So 2 things to do in Stacker today. Copy paste the introduction there, replace jo bhi pehle tha, replace that, and upload a smiling DP. All right, Athar, go for it.
Yeah, hi Swapnil. So I just wanted to know how you can be a better listener, and if there are any habits you can start to become a better listener.
Better listener.
Yeah.
Interesting. Cool. बहुत ही अच्छा question. So the best advice that I have for you is instead of listening with an intent to reply, and this is where the default modes are, ki as soon as not as soon as, whenever we are listening to someone, we are forming a real-time response. Ki as soon as this person will stop abhi ke abhi, so this is what I'm going to reply with. And what that makes us do is ki instead of focusing on what the other person is saying, we start putting our energy into what we have to say, and then we start thinking about अच्छा, what is a relevant point to say here, and then वो हम सोचने लग जाते हैं कि अब हमें क्या बोलना है. So instead of an intent to reply, listen with like no intent. I think that is, so it is okay to take some time between the other person speaking and you starting to speak. Like ऐसा नहीं है कि like as soon as the other person stops speaking, you have to start speaking in 1 second, 2 seconds. You can take 10 seconds, 15 seconds at that time to think, collect your thoughts. But yeah, I think this is the major mindset shift that I've seen in my friends who are not good listeners versus who are good listeners is ki people who reply instantaneously, they sort of tend to focus on what they have to say versus um, focusing on what the other has to say. And then when सामने वाले का हो गया, then you start thinking okay, what should I reply with. This is like I don't have an actionable thing for starting off with this, but I think start with a mindset change, and then during breakout rooms we can sort of iterate on this.
Right. So basically, you need to listen to understand and not to reply.
Yeah, very easy to say, takes a lot of time to master. Yeah.
But I think it was a really good tip. So yeah, thank you.
All right, Manak, go for it.
Yeah, I had a question regarding Zoom. Like, since we're going to give the interview in Zoom, so what should be the background? Like, is there any criteria for that? Because I think it also affects psychologically.
I think as long as you are blurring it out, doesn't matter. So I have it blurred, you have it blurred. I don't think it matters. And for others as well, like I see everyone's is good only. I don't see a red flag in the background of anyone. I would just say invest in good lighting. So just say, abhi your face coming, right? So I can say if I switch off my light, like this is how I come, and this ekdam se changes things. So I'll just say get this one background and everything. You can sort of skip for now.
Oh, thank you.
All right, Shweta.
Hi, Swapnil. What happened with me is when I interviewed last month, the interviewer's camera was off.
Okay.
So how can I know what he is expecting and what is back of camera?
Most likely they'll expect you to have your cameras on, and the reason behind that is like if you have your cameras off, this is what I do as well. Like if the other person has the camera off, and you might have noticed it, like some people when I was talking to you in our onboarding call, if you had your cameras off, I said ki nahi, without cameras on we cannot start the interview, because if the camera is off, I don't know whether there's one person or two people or like a 3 people team sitting there. So yeah, I think for all intents and purposes, your cameras would be on in an interview. Interviewer has that luxury privilege. Nahi karna chahiye off, but yeah, I think they can do it. But from a candidate perspective, the camera would be on always.
Yeah, interviewer's camera was off. Whole call, it was off. I don't know what happening, and it didn't went well also, that interview.
Yeah, I think this is also like a, from a meta point, this is also like a stress test, wherein as soon as you say, so let's say we both are interacting, right? And it is very easy when cameras are on, but let's say as soon as I switch off my camera, you'll find it harder to interact with me, and it will sort of, you'll get into a stress mode. So interviews are all about like stress testing. Why? Because developer, so the path that you all have chosen, which is being software developers, you know it already, right? It is full of stress. That's the reason we have paid so much, right? Uh, we are paid to handle stress. We are paid because we are mentally very tough. Although we might feel कि नहीं नहीं अभी तो मैं और mentally tough, but I can say कि compared to like an average population, we are very strong mentally. Like if you say this to a random person ki hey, I spent 5 hours 10 hours to change one word in one thing, they'll flip out ki bhai ye kya hai. So yeah, so yeah, it might happen ki interviewer ka camera is off, and you just need to like be comfortable with that. All right, Vaishnavi.
Yeah, hi Swapnil.
Hey.
So before the introduction session, I'll be like, introduction ही तो है, बोल देंगे कुछ भी. But when I gave an interview today with a well-prepared introduction, it really boosted my confidence, and I think it's a great start. Thank you.
Awesome, awesome. Thanks for sharing. We'll have this effect in all parts of the interview. So we are going introduction, then next step, then next step. Today we have something, then Friday, Saturday, Sunday also we have other things. So yeah, we will cover all the parts of the interview. Yeah, by the end of the cohort, I hope all of us will be ready कि हाँ भाई तुम बोलो कि 10 मिनट 5 मिनट बाद इंटरव्यू है, you just मतलब without stress open the Zoom, हाँ भाई लो इंटरव्यू, क्या दिक्कत है. Cool, you want to get into that mindset. I'll quickly go through the chat. You have reviewed introduction. Yeah, we can update in Stacker. So we don't need to make, I'll come to that. Good question. I missed this information. Should we also invest in a mic? No, I think mic not needed. Light should be good. Just have a decent quality earphones. Can we ask them for on video? Well, you can ask them, but it's very likely that they will say no. All right. Okay. Coming to the homework for today is you have to make a video. This will be like an introduction video. So you have the content already in place. What you just need to do is press record, just record yourself, see in the camera, and how it will help you is it will sort of tell you how you actually look, how you actually sound when you're interviewing. And when we talk tomorrow, I think you'll have a very different understanding of what it was in your mind versus how it actually looks. So today's homework is make an introduction video. Don't do like a lot of takes, okay? Like record once, twice, thrice, maybe 4, 5, max 5 times. Don't spend a lot of time. So uske liye I'll put a deadline. Midnight today is the deadline. Don't spend a lot of time. For the tools, let me just share the tools. So the setup is you use Loom for recording. I will just share it here. Create a video for your introduction. All right, I will share it in the chat. So homework for today is create one video for introduction. Setup is Loom. Loom is a software, just install this. It allows you to record yourself. So how the format would be, you are on the full screen and just press record. There's another option in Loom which allows you to share screen and put yourself in a bubble. You don't want that. You want full screen pay. You should only you should be there in the recording. As soon as you press stop recording, Loom automatically creates a video link, and that is something you can just paste in your thread. So I can review it along with Crisp. Crisp is a tool which filters out background noise. So just use it so that if you have any noise in your background, it filters that out, so you will sound more clear. It is optional, so if you don't have a lot of background noise, you don't need it. But yeah, I would say just record it once with this, see how clear is it. There's a reference as well. If you get into any trouble, you can troubleshoot it using that article. If you get into more trouble, just post in the chat. That is about it. Minimum duration, I would say, is 30 seconds. Minimum 30 seconds. Like don't make a video below 30 seconds. Upper limit is 2 minutes. Don't make a video above 2 minutes. If it is 2 minutes 1 second, it does not count. It has to be under 2 minutes. So you have to think what goes in there, what does not go in there. Ideally, I would say is 1 minute. And use the pointers that you have put down, because those are very crisp things. Yeah. All right, Faraz, go for it.
Yeah, so I was just asking that since like our introductions are very short, so like will that 30 seconds won't be that very like too much? because barely it is 4-5 points. So if we'll record ourselves, reading or just rehearsing that 5 pointers, so it might be possible that it is less than 30 seconds.
Can you just like read out your introduction?
Sure. Yeah, so like I had just written it in a passive voice. So it's like
let's do it. Let's do it in active voice. Take 30 seconds, and then whenever you're ready, we can start.
Okay. So it's like I am currently working at Wipro as project engineer. I have contributed in a front-end development project using React.js at Wipro only. I started coding journey in standard 10th with Java, and it said that a guiding light is very important to show you the right path to follow. Got one a year back who planted the seed of web development inside me and made me what I am today. Self-learned JavaScript and React.js in the last 11 months. Love reading books, short stories, and poetry. That's it.
So this is 31 seconds. So yeah, I think this works.
Okay,
See,
thanks.
मतलब, it's not कि 30 का 29 हो गया उतना नहीं है, but like this is the ideal key. Anyway, 30 seconds to 1 minute is sort of the ideal spot. And once you start speaking, when you see yourself, you'll see कि नहीं अच्छा इसको वैसे कर सकते हैं, वैसे कर सकते हैं. And this is not the final one. We'll जैसे introduction में we did it twice, right? We made it once and then we did it again. So today this is the first go. Tomorrow we'll finalize it, and then that is the end of the introduction part. So for now, just focus on how you feel seeing yourself. Do you see any things that you can improve on? Focus on that more. Content, timings, etc. We'll figure it out. Yeah.
Okay, thanks.
As Rishabh says, we'll have to manage it to pauses, and that's actually a good thing because it gives the other person a time to like register what you are saying. If you just like राजधानी से भाग जाओगे सब 10 सेकंड में सब बोल दोगे, you can say it, but वो फिर वो Eminem rap god वाला scene हो जाएगा. You need a text lyrics to sort of understand that. तो वो नहीं चाहिए. You need to. This is also a learning that will help you answering tech questions. Ki although you know the answers, if you just say it very very fast, then the other person might think यार आता ही नहीं आता क्या scene है. So बीच में you have to take थोड़ा pauses. So yeah, that is about it, folks. Any final questions? We're almost at the end of today's session. Any final questions? Any questions in the homework assignment? Anything else? We'll wrap it up. We have one. If you have more questions, now's the time to raise hands. You can always lower hand if the question is repeated, but if you have a question, the hand should be raised. All right, Simon, go for it.
Yes, Swapnil. So I just wanted to know, like, should there be any starting part, like, or should we directly dive deep into the 5 points and tell?
Yeah, you can talk about your name. That also works. So think of it that this is sort of like a video introduction. So if someone is watching this, then they'll not read what is in your text. So they'll just press play. So whatever you want to say, it should be there only.
Right. Thank you.
Good. And don't worry about the content. I'll also say it. So we'll finalize it together. But deadline is just there so that we ship something. We don't wait, because we can wait for 3 days, 4 days to make the first video, but then we'll just keep waiting. Let's just make it by tonight so that we get one step closer to finalizing it. Yes, Prakash.
So I have mentioned in the intro that I am into the coffee, and you mentioned that I need to expand something on that. So I am not very sure like what else I can add in that.
Can you like thoda elaborate, like when you say you are into coffee, what does that mean?
Yeah, so like there are like different kind of coffees, and and there are also many way to like make them. So yeah.
So what is something you like?
Yeah, like I like to know that different way and equipment
ठीक
that
है,
are used to
so
make
now
those.
I'm assuming you know at least 2 ways, right?
Yeah.
ठीक है, so if you
Yeah.
know at least 2 ways, which one is the best one?
Yeah. Okay.
नहीं, I'm asking you, बताओ.
Yeah. So like there is it depend on person to person. Like
Or you, what is
pour
diplomatic?
over,
What?
pour over, like pour
ठीक है,
over.
pour over. ठीक है, this is for you, right? So when you say I am into coffee versus when you say I like uh, going deeper into how coffees are made, and my personal favorite is pour over, right?
Yeah.
This is something I think I shared today only. Ki the more specific you are, it gives me more confidence that you're really passionate about it. Like I like coffee is something like half of us can say, right? I can also say, okay, I was having coffee before this call, so I can also say that, right? And उसपे कोई talking point नहीं, right? When you say I like coffee, तो like उसमें मैं क्या बोलूँ? But as soon as you say कि भाई ये होता है, तो I'm like instantly curious कि भाई okay, what are the different ways? 2 ways हैं, 3 ways हैं, 5 ways हैं. How did you learn about that? Why for you pour-over is the best one? Like what is the comparison? So like for a curious person, like I can like just talk about that topic for 5-10 minutes to you, right? So इधर content मिला है मुझे. But when you say I like coffee, उसमें कोई
अच्छा.
content नहीं है.
Yeah. Okay. Thank you.
Cool. Ashish? Hey, you're on mute.
Should I by heart our intro? I am asking because sometimes I forgot the line and it messed up.
We'll do it tomorrow. I think for now what you can do is you don't need to learn it. You can keep the script somewhere. You can just read it out. That also works. The idea with today's exercise is you get to see how you look when you're introducing yourself. So you might be just like be annoyed with अरे ऐसे मैं ऐसे करता हूँ, मैं ऐसे करती हूँ. तो that is today's exercise, and then we'll practice. So see, we'll do इतना सारा practice interviews कि you'll learn how to introduce yourself. Cool, folks. Any final questions? We are a couple of minutes late, which I don't like, but yeah. Okay, we have some different coffee fans in the house. All right, final call for final questions, homework for today. You have, it's 7, you have like 5 hours. Don't wait until the last minute and do it today itself, because कल का homework अलग होगा, परसों का homework अलग होगा, Saturday का तो बहुत ही homework होगा. So don't wait कि I'll do it all over the weekend. If you're thinking कि I'll do it on Saturday का बहुत बड़ा homework होगा अलग से, Sunday का बहुत बड़ा homework होगा अलग से. Do it. Max is just never miss twice. Even if you miss one deadline, before the next deadline comes, make sure that you do everything. All right, Pratik has some experience to share. We'll hear about it, Pratik, tomorrow, because tomorrow is we'll have sort of fun. I don't know how, kaise, but like we have some ideas, but yeah, we will have some fun tomorrow, planning something there. Cool, folks. That is about it. We'll play some music. Feel free to hang around. Feel free to get started with your assignments. And let me what was I wanted to play? Got it. ठीक है. All right. See you folks tomorrow.